Hello, dear students. Today, our topic is electricity. Have you ever wondered about how an electricity bulb works? Switching on a light bulb to make it glow is part of our everyday activities. However, in 1882, when Thomas Alva Edison invented the light bulb, many people consider it a miracle. It was celebrated as one of the greatest inventions of the time. We have learned that all materials are made up of very small particles called atoms. For a long time, people believed that these atoms were the smallest particles and could not be divided further. That belief was broken by scientists when subatomic particles were discovered. Subatomic particles make up atoms. Protons, neutrons, and electrons are subatomic particles. Let us compare the inner side of a cut apple with that of an atom. The place where the seeds are found is the nucleus. The nucleus consists of particles called protons and neutrons. Electrons are found revolving around the nucleus, just like the planets around the sun. Protons and electrons carry charges. Charge is a basic property of particles which causes them to experience movement when in the presence of other charged particles. There are two types of charge observed in particle, positive and negative. Particles that carry the same charge repel or move away from each other. Particles that carry opposite charges are attached to each other, which causes them to move towards each other. Electrons and protons carry opposite charges. The positively charged particles present in the nucleus attract the negatively charged electrons around them. As they come closer, the electrons push away each other as like charges repel each other. This causes the electrons to go around the nucleus. When the number of electrons is more than the number of protons present in an atom, the atom is negatively charged. When the number of protons in an atom is more than the number of electrons in an atom, the atom is positively charged. Electricity is the form of energy that is associated with the electric charges that exist inside the atom. Electricity can be of two types. One is a static electricity or current electricity. The first one is static electricity, where there is an imbalance of electricity charges in the atoms on the surface of a material. It causes the surface to be charged up. We can understand this static electricity by the following example. Then second one is current electricity. We have learned that static electricity is the charge that is bound to be a surface. When electric charge flows from one surface to another, it is called current electricity. The amount of electric charge moving per unit time at any point in a material is the measurement of electric current, that is I, flowing through it. The SI unit for measuring electric current is ampere, that is A. Therefore, the formula is I equal to Q by T, where I is the current in ampere A, Q is charge in coulomb C, T is the time taken in seconds S. Electrons that are moving in an electric conductor move towards the positive charge. A source of electricity usually has positive and negative ends. These are known as the terminals of the circuit. Hence, the electric current moves in a closed path in a loop. Such a loop is called an electric circuit. For the path of electric current to be complete, it is important that all the parts of circuit are made of materials that can conduct electrical charges. As we can recall from our learning in previous grades, such materials are known as electrical conductors. The next subtopic is Electrical conductivity. The electrical conductivity is the ability of specific material to carry current or to let the electrically charged particles to pass through it. It is represented by sigma. The SI unit of electrical conductivity is Siemens or meter, that is S divided by M. We can choose any one. Examples for materials that have good electrical conductivity are iron, copper, aluminium, etc. Materials that have a high conductivity are known as good conductors. Next subtopic is electrical resistivity. Electrical resistivity is the opposite of electrical conductivity. Electrical resistivity is the ability of a specific material to resist the flow of electrically charged particles through it. The SI unit of electrical resistivity is ohm, meter. The next subtopic is conventional current. When electricity was first discovered by Benjamin Franklin, it was assumed that electricity result of flow of positively charged particles from the positive terminal of a source to the negative terminal of the source through a circuit. It was discovered later that electricity is the result of flow of electrons from the negative terminal of a source to the positive terminal through a circuit. That is, conventional current flows in the direction opposite to the flow of electrons. The next subtopic is potential difference. The difference in the potential energy between the points on the surface at different heights causes the movement of water from a point of higher potential energy to a point of a lower energy. The flow of electricity current also needs a difference in energies between 2 points in a circuit. This difference in energies makes the charge flow from one point to the another point. This difference between the energies is called the potential difference. Electric current flows from a higher energy level to a lower energy level. If there is no difference in potential energies, current cannot flow. Potential difference can be defined as the amount of energy required to move a unit of electric charge from one point to another in a circuit. The unit of potential difference is volt, that is V. The electrical potential energy per unit charge is called the voltage of a source of electricity. In other words, it is a measurement of the energy contained within an electric circuit at a given point. The potential difference in a circuit can be measured by an instrument called voltmeter. Next subtopic is resistance. When a voltage is applied across a circuit, free electrons start to move, causing the flow of electric current. Due to the property of some materials, the atoms of the materials continuously collide with the moving electrons, causing them to resist their free movement. This is called resistance, that is R. A higher potential difference will be needed to overcome the resistance and to let the electric charge flow through the material. The resistance of a component is always directly proportional to the applied voltage and inversely proportional to current flow through a component. When the ratio of applied voltage is longer than the current across the component, the resistance will be larger. The SI unit of resistance is ohm. Therefore, R equal to V by I.